Hey guys, Abs here. So somebody brought to my attention a post on the Warrior forum called on the article reviews, on the product reviews and rating section for wpserpfuel WordPress SEO plugin. Is it good or is it bad? And somebody actually left a post, a link to a forum called Apex Forum. Now this Apex Forum is actually owned by Word AI. I'm sure many of you guys have heard it. None of our plugins actually integrate with it for the only reason that we've never really worked with it ourselves, and we haven't really been requested by any of our users to integrate with Word AI. Other than that, we have no problems with Word AI, and I'm sure it's a fabulous product. So anyway, this user here is the administrator, the owner of Word AI, or they're the administrator on this forum, and they have quite a lot of influence on the forum as well, of course, being an administrator, and there's quite a lot of eyes that get seen on these threads as well. And they've raised a number of issues with wpserpfuel, and they've come to a conclusion that it has zero ranking power. Now, coming to a conclusion like that, if your understanding of the product was fully understood, then I'll totally agree and be in a position not to reply to any of these queries. However, I feel that the user, or this person here, the administrator, hasn't understood wpserpfuel at all, and as a result, I'm in a position that I have to be making this video to clear things up. But I'm hoping, it will really clear things up and help you understand the SERPfuel technique even better. But the first thing that I want to point out and bring to your attention, guys, is when it comes to tools, any types of SEO tools, be it backlink building tools, be it, article spinning tools, be it whatever kind of tools, even WordPress, whatever the tool is, guys, they can both be used for spamming and they can be used for value and adding value as well. And it all depends on the user that's behind it and the way that they're going to be using it as well. So when you buy wpserpfuel, you get some best practices from myself, and I'm going to go over some of these best practices now, because that's what's going to clear up many of these issues that this administrator has actually noted. So I'm going to go through each one of them, guys, and I'm going to be going over and answering every single one of them as well, to help better explain the product as well, because maybe I haven't done a very good job on the sales page. And if you was actually on my list, then I actually warmed my list up with a number of emails and a number of PDF documents and videos explaining the actual strategy as well, and maybe that's what I haven't been able to explain so well on the sales page. But in which case, on the sales page, I do actually leave the videos and I do actually leave the PDF document as well. It beats me why, unless you're not spending enough time to understand the product, why you'd come to such a conclusion. So anyway, let's go over these issues, and then I'll actually explain every single one, and I'll explain everything to you. Okay, so the very first one was wpserpfuel builds links that are useless for SEO purposes. So it goes on to say the first and biggest one is that the links that wpserpfuel is building are almost entirely useless. The video stresses that these pages that are internally linking to you are invisible to your users, which means they likely aren't getting linked to anywhere themselves. So the only thing that I have to say on here is, the first thing is, yes, we have a PDF document that explains everything as well. I'm going to explain the situation to you as well. On the actual sales page as well, I've had it in, in a big yellow box saying here, then you link out to the RSS feed from anywhere on your site and wait for the magic to happen. So basically what I'm trying to explain here is that we need to link out to this RSS feed that holds the URLs to all of these fueled posts, so that they're getting linked out from our site. Google finds them. And yes, you can rely on external links, but you know what, if you are going to be creating all of these fueled posts and you didn't link out to it from your site, then you know what, I can totally understand why you would feel that this can be manipulative and it can be kind of useless, and it could be kind of risky as well. But you know what, let me just quickly explain something and exactly how wpserpfuel works. I'm going to do this really quickly. I've got a whole video about this. Now, this is your WordPress site, guys. Now, wpserpfuel, it allows you to, these are your posts here, yeah? Now, wpserpfuel allows you to create fueled posts for every single post that you win. What these fueled posts allow you to do is they're contextually rich pages, media rich pages. They use diverse anchor text, and they link back to where your main post. And the whole idea about these pages, guys, is that these pages aren't there to convert users into customers and to make sales. But these pages are. Okay, so what we do is in our sidebars, in our WordPress site and everything, we don't link to these pages, guys. They're not too valuable for us. These pages' main use is to build up the relevancy, to build the internal linking, and to show Google that, you know what, we're spending more time on these pages, we're focusing and we're sending over the focus to these pages, and in return, we're going to start to see some better rankings. However, if you're not linking to these pages from your actual website, then you know what? It does become a very risky plugin then. And our best practice guides and even our PDFs before we even release the plugin, and even our videos on the page, on the actual this page here, and the PDF guides and everything. Let me just scroll down and show you these videos here. If you have a look on here, it actually shows you everything here that I'm actually explaining to you now. It goes through this whole process. So what we actually do is, well, we actually use the Enterprise Plus plugin, and that creates an RSS feed for every single page. Okay, so every post on your site will have its own RSS feed that has its own, that links out to all the fueled posts. And what you do then is you link out from every single post on your site to the unique RSS feed for that post. What that does is it means that you're not trying to hide the posts. It means that you're clearly linking out from every post. You're clearly linking out so that Google can find this RSS feed. When Google finds this RSS feed, it's going to find these posts here, these fueled posts. When it finds this fueled post, it'll see the diverse anchor text and it will go back to that parent article. When it goes over to the next article, it'll find the diverse anchor text and it will link back to the parent article. So we're not hiding nothing, guys. Yes, your users will be able to find them on your post because we want to link out to these fueled posts. However, I'm going to show you exactly how I link out to them myself. And of course, you know what, it's always good to change things up and don't do everything identical to the way that I do it, because sometimes I'm trying to explain things in a shortcut, and sometimes if I'm telling you exactly how I do it and then 100 more users are doing exactly the same thing, then it beats the unique factor, you know. So try and put in your own little mix into everything as well, guys. But yes, we highly recommend you link out to every single RSS feed from each single post so that it isn't manipulative, and so that Google can find them posts, and so that when the Google does find them posts, it also links back to your main site. And it finds how you're keeping that silo structure. In fact, wpserpfuel is probably the only plugin that allows you to create these kind of pages that don't link out to, that allow you to create these kind of pages from within your WordPress site that don't link out to, that are not linked to from any of your main sites. And it's all down to you linking out to them, guys. So yes, I can totally understand why you'd think that it is totally useless and it can be risky to use if you're not linking out to the pages. But you know what, you're linking out to every single one, and we highly advise it. And in all of our user guides and in our best practices, and before we release the plugin, this is one of the notes that we mentioned. In fact, we called it the missing link. The missing link was the RSS feed. It was the RSS feed that had all of the URLs to the fueled posts, and it was that link that you had placed on the RSS feed on your post. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so here's our wpserpfuel blog. I'll go over to this one here, internal link building and on-site optimization and on-site SEO. And if you go down to the bottom, you will see we've got a link out to our child post. Now, if you actually have a look at our main site, we only link out to the power of internal links, internal link building best practices, and this. It's only a real basic blog, guys. It hasn't been put together properly. But as you can see, we've only got 3 posts on here. Okay, when we go over to this post here, this is the only post that we have child posts for at the moment. When you click on that, it leads to all of our child, it leads to the URL, the feed that has the URLs to all of our child posts. I'm going to show you them posts in a moment, guys, but firstly what I want to do is go over and tackle issue number 2, and then we can have a look at the post and show you how we can tackle this. Okay, so the second thing is wpserpfuel puts your money site in danger of being penalized. Now, this is all fantastic. You know what, if I read this, I'd be really scared to even buy the plugin, and especially with this user being in a position of influence. There's a lot of people there's going to be a lot of people reading this, so you know, I really want to clear this up. The first one, guys, as you totally know now, you know what, we highly recommend you link out to these pages and these fueled RSS feeds. If you don't, then yes, you know what, you could be using a very risky technique, not a technique that we've developed, a technique because our technique is telling you all about it on the sales page. Read them videos, watch them videos, read the PDF guide, and read really try and understand it. Okay, issue number 2, so it puts your site as being penalized and in danger. Okay, so the second thing is that this plugin is clearly advertising itself as a plugin you would want to use on your main money making site. Since I own Word AI, I am a little biased, but the two spinners it supports, The Best Spinner and Spin Rewriter, have zero capabilities of automatically writing anything that could remotely pass a manual review. Okay, I'm going to stop there, guys. He then goes on to talk about Article Builder as well. What I'm going to turn around and say here is two things, guys. Just because a plugin or just because a tool that you buy has support for third-party APIs doesn't mean you have to use them. So if wpserpfuel integrates and works with The Best Spinner and it works with Spin Rewriter or it works with Article Builder, if you yourself feel that you don't want to use them, then you don't have to. If we made it a must that you have to use them, guys, then we would also have to make a note that, you know what, this plugin doesn't work unless you have a payment, unless you have an account with The Best Spinner or Spin Rewriter or whatever. And of course it doesn't look good on us. We want to make sure that you can use these plugins without any more expenses. So when you see the Best Spinner and when you see Spin Rewriter and when you see Article Builder, it doesn't mean that this is the way that you have to use it. If I showed exactly how to use the plugin with these and I demonstrated how to use Article Builder or I demonstrated how to use Spin Content, guys, then I was only doing that as a demonstration. But when you come along and you actually work with this plugin, guys, I want you to fully understand and fully know that you have full control over the way that these actual fueled posts look. Okay, let me just let me go over to this and let me show you exactly what I mean. Okay, you have an editor, guys. You have a whole editor for every single fueled post. Okay, so this is your fueled post area here. So this is SEO internal link structure, guys. That's the first internal link that I've got on here as the first post. Okay, this is the editor here. As you can see, I've changed everything. I'm going to go over exactly how I'm linking back to these in a moment. You can add images in here. You can add videos in here. You can make your text, for example, search engine optimization. You can make it bold, you can underline them, you can add your own HTML in there, guys. You can make everything unique. You can make every single one of your fueled posts unique, and you can add any content in there you want, guys. Now, our best practice guide clearly notes that don't use content that's not readable. So what I will advise you guys is, if you are going to use spin services like Spin Rewriter or The Best Spinner, then what I recommend is when you do use them, guys, then go over the spin syntax, go over a few versions and make sure they're going to be humanly readable. If ever in doubt, what you can do is get them spin syntax, add it in there, create the posts. When the posts have been generated, then go over each post and edit them so that they look much more unique. I personally feel that using services like the Spin Rewriter and the Best Spinner helps me quickly spin things together. But yes, I wouldn't recommend putting it on your site until you've evaluated exactly what kind of content's going to be on there and to make sure that it's readable. If ever in doubt, guys, don't use the Best Spinner, don't use Spin Rewriter, don't use the Article Builder. You know what? Introduce somebody else's topic and curate the content, guys. It's totally fine. Link back to them as well. You're still getting that diverse anchor text that wpserpfuel allows you to actually get and create. Okay, so this is what I wanted to make notes to you guys, is you don't have to use the Spin Rewriter, you don't have to use Article Builder, and you don't have to use them, guys. You can use this, you can have two, you can have your own content. In fact, if you want a real nice and simple way of doing it, go over to I Need Articles, have an article and have it manually spun by someone, and then you can get many variations that are very readable, that are going to work perfect for you as well. So to spin or not to spin, guys, that's up to you. I'm going to let you decide to use Article Builder or not to use Article Builder. I'm going to let you decide that as well. We personally ourselves use Article Builder. And you know what? I'm going to actually show you a site that we have that uses Article Builder. And I'm going to show you all the pages that are indexed in Google. Okay, so it's called SEOmarketingsuite.com. Okay. Have a look at that, guys. It's got over 2,500 pages indexed in Google, guys. Okay, and on this site, I'm gonna actually go over to it. Yeah, let's go over to here. On this site, guys, there's about 5 pages that are unique. every single other post on this site, guys, is from Article Builder. If you know Article Builder, you will recognize these tips that we're putting in here, guys. All of these tips are from Article Builder, guys. All of these posts, all of these 2,500 minus maybe 4 posts are all from Article Builder. They're getting indexed by Google. They're getting indexed, they're getting found. Our links are getting found and they're getting counted for. Now, guys, don't look at this site and think how much traffic is this site getting, having 2,500 posts or not. I'm not looking at that. We're not sending any traffic to these sites. Yes, we're getting lots of pages indexed, which is exactly what we want. We're not doing any backlinks or anything to this, and this site hardly gets any visitors in there anyway. But what I'm trying to explain to you guys is if the Article Builder content is getting indexed by Google, it means it's good enough for them to keep in their SERPs, to keep in their search engine ranking pages. If it's getting found, guys, it means that it's getting counted for, and if it's being counted for and all these pages are getting used, that's why we use it ourselves, and that's why we have no problems in recommending Article Builder for your fueled posts. Would we recommend it for your main posts that are going to convert your users into customers and to sales? No, we wouldn't, guys, because it's all made up of tips and articles that are sliced and diced, but when you read it, it makes sense, and it's a real quick way of pulling articles together. So yes, we stand by Article Builder because we use it and it's been working for us. Obviously, this user doesn't stand by Article Builder. They've said that it's worked in the past because of the way it used to work, and it's been used by so many users and whatever. But you know what? It's still working for us today, guys. So we have no problems with that. And you'll actually find them notes in our best practice, guys, in our best practice guide. Okay, let's go over here. Additionally, the way the interlinks is the least natural way imaginable. This image below is taken directly from the promotional video. Let me zoom into this, guys, okay, so we can actually see this. Okay, in fact, instead of zooming into it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you that page, and I'm going to explain exactly what that page is and exactly what I've done. Okay, so here's that page here, guys. And when you look at this, you know what? It does scream spam. I'm going to totally agree with this user here, yeah? I'm totally going to agree. It does scream spam. It does look very unnatural. It is mostly the very unnatural way of having a link point back to your site. Maybe something that you would have used like back in, I don't know, 2009 or something. But what was I trying to do, guys? What was I trying to explain to you? I was trying to explain in that video, and I was trying to show a page that would clearly demonstrate a page that has a title, that has paragraphs, that has some multimedia on there, and then it has an internal link back to your website, guys. Now, by no means do I recommend you make your pages like this, and I'm going to show you exactly what wpserpfuel can do and the customizations you have as well. But yes, guys, if you have something like this, then it's going to be very difficult. Then you know what, it does look very, very spammy. Now, let me show you our website here. Okay, so these are our child posts here. Now, let me go over to this post here. Okay, this is a child post, guys. As you can see, it's got our sidebars on there. It's got our sidebars on there. It's got our calendar on there. It's got our internal link on there, contextually placed. It's got images on there and everything on there as well. When I click on this here, guys, okay, what you'll notice is going to go back over to the parent article, and this main WordPress site only links out to 3 posts, and these 3 posts are the posts that are on the WordPress site. It doesn't link out to anything else, but on the post itself, it links out to the RSS feed. When we go over to the RSS feed, when we go over to the next post, for example, on here, next child post, what you'll notice is it's a child post, but you know what? It doesn't look spammy, guys. It looks really good. The link here is contextually placed in there as well, and it looks in a nice position. It doesn't look like spam, guys. It doesn't look anything like this. So you might be thinking, Abs, if wpserpfuel can do this, then why didn't you show this example on the sales page or in the videos? So let me explain this, guys. The reason I didn't show these kind of examples was because I didn't want to show the sidebars in here. I didn't want to show the header in there. I just wanted to show a stripped page showing an example of exactly how a page or how the format would look. But I also wanted to show and explain on the page as well that it's fully customizable, guys. So if you want to get this look and feel, it's totally fine. And the way you do that is you actually go into your posts, and you can go and you can change areas, you can add things, you can update things, you can do whatever you want, guys. So when you're looking at this post here, then yes, you know what, I agree with you here. This looks totally spammy the way that I've done it, but it was meant for me explaining how the format or what a page consists of as a title, you know, content, multimedia, the internal link. Maybe it wasn't the best of examples to use, but you know what, wpserpfuel and our recommendations is you work with it in this way here, so that your fueled posts look exactly like your WordPress site. The only difference is your main WordPress site doesn't link out to them fueled posts other than on the actual post itself, and Google finds them. It sees, let's just go over to that RSS feed. It sees the internal links inside of them as well, and it awards you and rewards you generously as well, guys. So you know what, it doesn't look spammy whatsoever when you do put in a bit of effort behind it. But yes, if you let wpserpfuel create the post for you without putting in any effort whatsoever, using the shortcodes just as they randomly put in, guys, then it's going to be like exactly like everyone else. And you know what, it could be leaving a footprint, and it isn't the best way of actually leaving a link back to your actual main posts in any matter that is anyway. Okay, these type of links with exact match anchor text that appears nowhere near any actual content, nowhere near any actual content, stick out like a sore thumb. It does stick out like a sore thumb, guys. But look at this. Does this stick out like a sore thumb here? Okay, let's go over to that first post, the second post, whatever post we're on. Now you look at this, guys. Does this stick out like a sore thumb? It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, does it? And you know why? Because I put in a little bit of time, only about an extra 10 seconds on each post, just to align my image to the left and just to add my link inside of one of the paragraphs that I got from my article builder. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb now, guys. And the reason it isn't sticking out like a sore thumb, guys, is because I have the ability to edit and change everything to my liking. So all I can say here one more time, guys, is that these plugins, and you have the power to edit them. Sorry, you have the power to control all of these posts and these pages and your RSS feeds, and you can link out to them whenever you want. You have the power to work with your third-party providers like this Best Spinner or Spin Rewriter or Article Builder if you like, but you don't have to. If you want to do everything manually, you can do, guys. Now some people might be asking, well, why do I want to use wpserpfuel if I've got to put in all this effort on that, guys? Well, again, I'm going to explain to you again, guys. If you've got these pages on your site, guys, let's just say you've only got a 5-page site, for example. Let's go to this example here. You've got these pages on your site, guys. Now you've got these pages on your site. Now you want to send authority over to these sites, authority over to these pages. You want to send even more internal links to these pages other than just linking out from these posts here. Then what wpserpfuel allows you to do is create them internal links and create them pages without linking back from your main site. So to your user, it just looks like a nice simple site. When they actually see the garden ideas post, then they'll go over and they'll be able to go and find small garden ideas feeds, whatever, and they'll be able to see it. But the main idea for this, yes, it is about Google seeing it. It's about Google seeing the relevancy. But you know what, guys, if Google's gonna penalize you for having duplicate content, or if Google's going to penalize you for having non-readable content, or if Google's going to penalize you for having links placed without any content whatsoever, then don't do that. Don't do what you wouldn't do on your normal WordPress site. Think about wpserpfuel being a site in itself within the WordPress site itself, guys. So the main thing to take away from this, guys, is that you have full control on how your actual links look and where your links gets placed and how your actual posts look as well. So you got full control on that as well. So you know what, this is just something that I really don't know what to say about. If you've just taken, you know, just my example that I've noted on the page, and you've only read about that, then you know what, then I can understand why you come up with this conclusion. But you know what, wpserpfuel allows you to strip your sidebars, it allows you to add sidebars, it allows you to move your content and everything about. In fact, you got a whole editor for every single post. Okay, so let's have a look at this bonus issue. Fantastic, man. This is like selling something now we're selling problems. A bonus issue is wpserpfuel is an extremely easy to spot footprint. The way that wpserpfuel creates pages and links to it is not very common, guys. I've just mentioned to you that, you know what, maybe it doesn't look very common and it doesn't look very natural in this way, but how many of you guys are really gonna install wpserpfuel and not work with it without adding your sidebars? Not a lot of you guys. I think you're going to work with it in this way that I show you here. Make it look exactly like your main blog. The only difference is that when you go over to your main blog, they're not linked to, guys. Okay, so you're not going to be using it like this. We don't recommend you use it like this. We don't recommend you add links here as well. We recommend you add them in a contextually rich place as well. And you know what? people that are buying WP Serp Fuel, the majority of people know a little bit of SEO. So all I do is ask yourself, exactly like this user did here, guys. This user mentioned here as well. Where is the note? If I can find the note, it's a really good note. Here goes. People, think for yourself. Is reading one review by someone who didn't even risk £17 to try it a substitute for doing your own thinking and due diligence? So I am asking you to think for yourself as well. This user being in a very influential position, is very easy for users to start following his opinion, especially when he's selling it as a sales page and a bonus package, or it makes it look like selling it as a bonus package. But I am here to answer all of these queries and show you how much control you do actually have to this. So you know what, you can change your pages, the way they look, the way they feel. You can add your own videos in there, you can add your own Flickr images in there. You don't even have to rely on the internal built-in searching features or anything like that, guys. It does everything for you can change everything for you. Okay. I don't really understand this part here. The page rank has to come from somewhere, and WP Serp Fuel just tries to imagine it out of thin air. I don't know how this works. Maybe if you're basing everything on this first issue where nothing is linked out to from your website, then you know you are thinking of thin air here. So I really don't know where this has come from. But yeah, you know, like I said to you, WP Serp Fuel gives you full control. And it does things in a black hat way. Whether maybe if you're going out there and spinning content and putting content on your site that isn't readable, then I can see why you think that it's a black hat. It could be doing it in a black hat way, but as mentioned to you, you've seen the control now. Then everything is totally behind you being the user and how you actually work with the plugin. And it gets your website of getting penalized. Well, you know what, all these issues you've noted here, if you are going to be working based on the notes that you've read here, which is a very big misunderstanding of what the actual product and the technique behind the Serp Fuel technique does, then maybe you will get penalized. But if you're going to work and follow our best practice guide, then all Google's going to see is that, you know what, for every single post that you've created, you've taken out the time to create more posts, and you're linking out to them posts so Google can find them, and at the same time you're linking back in an intelligent manner, keeping a silo structured site, and it's like a silo within a silo within a silo, guys. Okay, so every page is within every page itself or post, it's siloed with this RSS feed by linking out to it. Google's gonna see that value that you've added there. But of course, if you've spun content that you can't even read and you're just whacking in links like the user clearly noted in this example here, then you know what, it is going to do you more harm than good, and we don't recommend that. And when you do buy, you do get a full tutorial and everything showing you exactly how we recommend it. Okay, so this is saying this results in Google very easy to punish you. It results in Google being able to punish you very easily. It does result in Google being able to punish you very easily if you don't read and you don't understand what products do. So the very first thing is, before you buy anything, understand what it does. So this guy wouldn't be buying anyway because he doesn't understand what it does. Maybe after he does understand what it does, he's still not going to buy it because it's going to be very difficult to change his mind. But you know what, he's certainly trying to sell it. So anyway, the conclusion has come up with is WP Serp Fuel gives you almost zero ranking power in return for putting your site at risk for an automated or manual penalty. So you know what, the conclusion is based on these issues here. So the conclusion is flawed. So I'm not going to even read the conclusion here. Oh, okay, I will actually read this. In addition to the review on the actual mechanics of WP Serp Fuel, I also severely dislike that the plugin has one of those limited time special launch offers where the price dramatically goes up every 24 hours. To be honest with you, we raised our price by $2 every 24 hours. So again, it just goes to show that this user hasn't really been paying attention, or he's just trying to class us in another class of kind of launches that they just don't like. To be honest with you, we really highly subsidize the price on, or we really put it down as a reduced price, and the first 7 days or the 5 days of when we do launch products allow us to give a special offer to our guys, you know, and when we do say that we are going to increase the price, some people do increase the price by, you know, tens or £20, but you know what, if you have a look at the price now, we're on our final day, it's on $25 for the front end. It started at $17, so we haven't dramatically increased the price. It's been about 4 days, started on 17, now we're on 25, so you know what, I really don't know what to say to that as well. Okay, it makes me think that it's one of those high pressure product launches aching for SEO Zen, where the product creators throw together a below average product that is filled with questionable SEO logic and buzzwords. Well, you know what, I think, again, you know what, this guy, he just hasn't understood the plugin, so his conclusion is totally flawed. The product creators get their monies by using time sensitive pricing and high pressure sales tactics. In fact, what I actually try to do here, you know, I'm really disappointed in a way that he hasn't been able to pick it up, but I've tried my best to educate and show you the technique as much as possible, to explain the technique in as much detail as I could go in as possible for the sales page. These actual videos were actually given to our users, and they were given with emails as well, so obviously the emails were explaining bits of what was happening, but yeah, I've clearly tried to explain exactly what the technique and everything does. But this guy here is just not having any of it. He just doesn't like it, and within a year the product is gone and the product creators move on to their next quality product launch. I don't know how many of you guys actually know me, but we've actually been developing products since I think about 2009, and we still have products that are in the market for such a long time, you know, and we still update our products as well. I don't know any one of our products that within a year it's gone off the market, unless the actual technique, or maybe if it was working with a website and the website, you know, closed down itself and we had to close it down because of that, then even that hasn't happened anyway. But yeah, you know what, I think this user here really doesn't like launches. He really doesn't like the fact of you know, the technique that I brought up here, but I think he hasn't understood it at all, and hopefully my explanation in this video has clearly pointed out how he's misunderstood it. One is obviously he hasn't taken out the time to clearly understand the idea, no matter how much he thinks he has. These clearly point out that he hasn't, because I do clearly note on there in yellow as well that you then link out to it from your RSS feed, from your pages, and yes, I also have the videos, and all the videos are on there as well. So anyway guys, what I want to mention to you about wpserpfuel, guys, is, you know what, everything you need to find out about wpserpfuel, guys, is on here. Now you take out the time and you go through all of this details, guys. If you've read this, if you watch this video as well, it's entirely up to you to draw your own conclusion. But what I will say to you guys is every plugin, no matter what plugin it is, every tool, no matter what tool it is, it can be used in a good way and in a bad way, guys. The best spinner itself, it can be used as a spammy tool. You can go out there and even, I'm sure, Word AI, you know, let's not talk about the best spinner, let's talk about Word AI. I'm sure the Word AI can be used for 1001 spammy things as well, guys. Now you can look at it and I can focus everything on the 101 spammy things, but what about them good things that shine when you, the user behind Word AI, works with it in the proper way? That's exactly how you got to look at wpserpfuel as well, guys. It can be used for spam, especially if used in the way that this guy's saying here. But if you do follow our whole best practice guide that you get when you buy wpserpfuel, a lot of the best practice guides is noted on here as well, especially the way we mention how we work with the Enterprise Plus edition and how we link out to every single post. So you should be able to find them on here. Now I understand that you guys don't have all the time to go over all these videos and to understand the full topic, but if you don't, guys, and you're somebody with, you know, quite a bit of influence on a forum, then I think it's kind of unfair to draw conclusions based on an understanding that you've drawn from your very short time spent on the actual product. Now I don't know how much time you spent on the product, but this clearly shows me that you haven't understood it. Okay, and this clearly shows me that you haven't understood it as well, and then again this clearly shows me that you haven't understood it as well, and then your conclusion is totally flawed because you haven't even understood it. So if you're not understanding something and somebody's coming up to you and asking you, please tell me this looks pretty good, you know, they're coming to you and saying it looks pretty good, man, you know, tell me about it, what do you reckon, is it just a sales pitch or what is it? And then you're coming along and you're coming with some influence and you're saying, well, hang on, you know what, my conclusion, stay away from it, it's going to penalize you, without you even having to without you even having understood it is not cool, man. And that's your 2 cents on the product, is it? Well, you know what, I hope you can change that, because a lot of this is totally covered in this video and shows you and covers every single point noted on here. So anyway, thank you very much, and yeah, I hope you understand wpserpfuel a little better.